Welcome to Contractor Cuts, where we cover the good, the bad, and the ugly of growing a successful contracting company.
Welcome back to Contractor Cuts. My name is Clark Turner.
I'm Jared Flo.
Thank you guys again for joining us. So Jared, what are we covering this week?
So we are covering why the wrong hire feels so right.
Yep.
Why it feels like I'm going to hire right now because it's going to be so great. It's going to provide all these opportunities. This is going to happen if I can just get this person in here, or I'm underwater, and so if I can just hire somebody, or I don't have any time to work on my company, so if I could just get one more person here to increase my bandwidth, then I'll be really set up in a good space.
Yep. And if you're in Alliance and you think we're talking about you, we are.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's not just you; it's everybody.
It's everybody.
You're not a one-off.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys coming into Alliance that say, I gotta go. That's the number one thing I gotta do.
I am not exaggerating about this. Every single one of our clients has said one or both of these things. I know you want me to work on my company, but I just don't have enough time. And the second thing is, I think I need to hire. I think I need to hire like right now.
Yeah.
Like if I could hire, then every single one of them has said that thing. And I understand it. I get it.
Yep. I think everything that we're going to talk about today, that intro, everything else boils down to one sentence. And if you can memorize this one sentence and live by it when you're looking to hire, it's going to change everything.
Yep.
So the sentence is, you do not hire as a pressure relief valve.
Yep.
You hire as part of your growth strategy plan. You do not hire because the iron's hot and if I had more people, I could make more money. I got 4 jobs I got to say no to unless I hire someone to manage them. You do not hire as that pressure relief, as a reactive. I got to hire someone because I can make more money.
Yep.
If you're hiring because of that, you are doing it wrong, and it's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I promise.
Yeah.
I have war stories.
Oh yeah.
We've made a list of 48 people we hired that we fired and cost us money. We have done it wrong
over and over and over
times,
and over. Yeah.
Almost 50 times we've done it wrong.
Because here's the deal: like almost every one of those times, there was a front end excited conversation. Dude, if we can capitalize on that thing, or we've got so much, like we're underwater. We got to get somebody.
We got that new client. They say they give us 10 houses a month, but we can't, let's get someone that can do those.
Or we had somebody quit.
Yep.
We had somebody quit, and it was like, I can't cover all of this stuff. I got to get somebody in right now.
Yep.
And so we bypass all of the things that we know that we should do, our processes and all the stuff, and we go, oh, dude, that's perfect.
Yep.
We need that one.
Yep.
Put them into play, and it bit us in the butt every time.
Yep. So what's the difference of I need to hire because I got work and my growth strategy plan is I'm going to hire this way? Tell me the difference of this.
Well, I mean, it's difficult because the growth strategy sometimes means slow down for a second and prepare.
Yep.
Set yourself up and that hire up to be the most successful.
Yep.
And the reality is like making a hire, either way, whether it is a spontaneous hire or a strategic hire, it is rolling the dice.
Yes.
It is a bet. I am going to bet my money that this investment is going to give me a return, period. There is a percentage risk. And by doing it associated with a growth plan, you're processing through the different variables associated with it, right? That by doing a couple of these different things, it takes that rolling of the dice risk and changes the percentage to a lower risk. There's always risk, but it lowers the risk of it costing me time, money, reputation. Right? The other way is there is and this is just kind of the number that pops into my head, hiring a person as a pressure relief, or I'm dropping the ball everywhere on all of my jobs. I've got to have somebody, or the iron's hot, right?
Yep.
And there's this opportunity, if I can just get this person in here to cover this thing that I was doing, I can capitalize on this thing. And making that very, very quick hire
Yep.
I really feel it's about an 80%
Failure.
chance that it's going to fail.
Agreed.
And it's going to cost you a lot of money. I explained to a guy this week as I was literally processing through this with him, the front end of that. Slow down your work for a second. I know there's work everywhere, and you don't want to say no to work.
Yep.
Figure out how much money you have to have. How much invoicing do you have to cover your expenses? You need to be bringing home money. Your employee needs to be bringing, whatever it is, right? Figure that out. Figure out how much time it's going to take you to work through these couple things and set a process. Set a hiring process. Set a onboarding process. Set a developing and leadership process so that when you bring somebody in, they're set up for success. How long do you think it's going to take you to do that? Slow down your work for that period of time and then make that hire.
Yep.
You've decreased the risk, but by doing that, the only thing you've lost is you might have taken on one or two less jobs than you were going to take on.
Yep.
You didn't lose money. You're not pulling money out of your pocket.
Yep.
You didn't gain more money, but you're setting yourself up to be able to do that.
Yep.
The other way around is I have an 80% failure ratio that if it worked out, great. You're in a potential better position. Probably going to have to take the time to back up and
not even a better position. You might have made a couple more dollars this year by saying yes to a couple extra jobs.
You capitalized on that thing that you were looking for.
Yes.
Right.
You brought on an assistant, and you have not even started the duplication process of yourself.
Right.
You are not duplicating yourself just by going out and hiring a hired gun that can go and knock out some jobs for you. That who cares about that? Great, you made an extra 10 grand, made extra 40 grand this year. Who cares? You're still in the same spot, and I care about you making an extra 40 grand a year forever into retirement, not just right now. So I agree totally with what you said. I think for me, the difference of those hires and how to define them and how to look at them.
You trying to say I was wrong?
No, I think you were 100% wrong.
Oh, perfect.
No, I think further defining it for me is the hire that you're making out of iron's hot. It's a pressure relief. I can take on more jobs. I'm overwhelmed. I need to get some time so I can work on my company. So let's just hire someone. That hire and what the risk is and why it's sometimes successful, but most of the time not, is you are hiring that person to deliver their product to your clients, right? If I just hire a random guy who's been in construction for 20 years, he knows what he's doing, he's going to come in and start running my jobs. He doesn't know how we write estimates. He doesn't know how we communicate with our clients. He doesn't know how our desk estimate to site estimate to revisions work. He doesn't know our process. I haven't asked him the questions that I want to ask. I don't know his temperament. I don't know if he even cares about our core values and how he treats our clients. I don't know. There's so much stuff.
I also hired the guy off of a gut feeling.
Yeah.
This guy feels great.
Yeah.
But I don't have a strategic interview process that puts people through the ringer so I can see behind the curtain.
Yep.
And actually get a picture of how they're going to operate 6 months from now.
So hiring that guy is a complete gamble on if he can deliver as good or better product than I can deliver. And if he can, he's going to run his own company one day and be gone.
That's right.
But if he can't, then a lot of things start falling apart.
Basically, at the end of the day, my wallet
is killed because I keep him on for 6 months and he flounders and leaves, right? Maybe I brought him in for 60, 70 grand, maybe $80,000. He's been in the industry for a while. Well, he was here for 6 months. That's $40,000 I paid him. I'm looking at his large jobs he was running. I am now running them and realizing all of the stuff he did wrong, all of the bad work orders, all of the promising guy stuff but not sending work orders. So all these crews are saying, hey, you owe me an extra $5 grand. No, I don't. What, from what?
Yeah.
Well, he said he'd pay me for this, this, and this. I got a client who's like, he promised me all this stuff. And so it falls apart. Every single job has always fallen apart when I take back over that job from that bad hire.
Yeah.
Right? And so not only did I lose the money I paid him for 6 months, 40 grand, and maybe he made 20 grand worth of profit in that time.
You lose
now
overpayment and errors on the job.
Overpayment, errors on the job. I can tell you war stories. We had a guy that we brought in, perfect, great fit, good gut feeling. Let's go with this guy.
Great with people.
Great with people. 6 months in, fell apart. I took over the jobs. We had to rip out hardwoods and cut a client a check for $25,000. We had a cease and desist because they didn't want us touching their job site anymore because they didn't trust us. Well, we ruined our reputation in their circle, and we lost $25,000 on that one specific job. He had 5 jobs open.
Yep.
And so we lost on every single job because he was running it his way.
Yep.
And for the first 4 to 5 months, I was making money, or it looked like I was, and I didn't realize what was going on. We had no processes in place at that time.
We didn't have a process for leadership and accountability.
Correct.
That's he had a lot of knowledge.
Yep.
He was good with people.
Yep.
He was decent at running jobs.
And this was a long before our software is what it is today. This was our initial version of it, where it was a very simple estimating, invoicing software.
But when the red flags were identified, they were brought up by the client.
Yep.
And we missed them.
Yep.
And it cost us a lot of money.
Yes. Well, for the first 4 months, it looked like we were making a lot of money. And then by the end of the year, when I went back and calculated, it was $125,000 that we lost.
One guy.
For making that hire.
One guy.
And we did this 48 times. Like, if all those hires hit, we would be gazillionaires, right? They'd all have worked out, and we would have kept hiring beyond them. But now I let him go. I'm out $125,000 at the end of the day. And now I'm back to where I was 6 months ago, looking for a new project manager, even more overwhelmed because I have all these jobs that I've promised that are about to start. And so I need to hire someone to take those. And so now I have all of the issues I had before, plus more issues. So now I'm going to hire someone quickly again, right? So that's what we're talking about when it comes to the quick hire, the pressure relief. I need to find someone. I'm going to go hire them.
It feels right.
It feels so right because in our heads, it's gonna work well.
Well, I can just, you know what? I'm really good at managing people.
Yeah.
And I'll just I'll shoulder the burden of just like making sure that he works out, and I'll micromanage him, and I'll check all the details, and I'll make him check in with me 3 times a day, and all this different stuff. And so the goal you were getting at was, I need to work on my company, but you just created more work for yourself.
You've now got a second job as a babysitter.
Right.
And psychologically, when you're interviewing someone, psychologically, if it is helpful for you to hire that person, if I hire Jared right now, I can make 5 jobs that I can say yes to. I'm going to make $100,000 more by hiring Jared. If that's in my brain, and I know that to be the case,
your judgment
psychologically,
is blinded.
I double the value of the positives and I excuse the negatives. Well, that's fine. I mean, but I can help him with that. But he's bringing his own crews. He knows how to estimate already. I really like his demeanor. Like, all of these are so important. This is going to work, right? And so you make that hire. You're out that money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on our side, when we do a hire and sit in on hires for the GC company, after the interviews are over, we all get together in one room and we talk about all the positives. Just great there, and this and that and this and whatever. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's awful about them?
Yeah.
What's not going to work?
Yep.
Focus. We want time to like celebrate how positive this person is.
Yep.
But do not allow those to thwart your good judgment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But going back to these two things, the hiring the wrong way versus hiring the right way. The right way, I think people don't do it as often the right way because they don't know what to do, right? It's like, hey, you have to have a HR, we call it our HR process. It's our hiring process. It's how we search for people, how we interview people, questions to ask, tasks and tests that we give our project managers, all the way through how to manage them throughout their employment, and also how to fire them and separate well and on a good note to protect us, right? It's a full process, our HR process, just like our project management process.
Right.
We give that to you as an alliance partner.
Yep.
We give you that process, we teach you that process, and we hold your hand in doing that. Now, if you don't use ProServe Alliance, if you're not partnering with us, no problem. Figure out what that process is prior to hiring the person, right? Figure out, how am I going to interview? What qualities do they have to have? How am I going to train them? What is the training period? What is it going to look like? I don't care if they're perfect. I'm still going to train them. They might know how to do everything in my process perfectly. I can't hold them to a bar unless I've told them what I want. I have to set the bar for them before I can hold them to it.
Yeah.
So I've got my project management process written down. I know exactly how, from a client coming in to a client leaves, they get treated. Like we talked about in past podcasts, write it down. Go to Starbucks, write it all down.
Yep.
I have that down. Now my HR process is how to hire, how to interview, when I'm doing that, who's going to interview, how many interviews we're going to do. I've heard of guys bringing their wives in to help with interview because they're really good with discernment, right? And then we're going to go from there into, okay, this is how we're going to train them when they come on.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 1-month training and they can't start any jobs. They will be my assistant here. But this is how they duplicate me. If they learn my project management process, they will be a duplication of me.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other way, you're hiring an assistant, hoping that it duplicates you, and they never will.
Yeah.
They don't. They will never be as good as you. They will never think like you. They don't, because you are the owner of this company, and you will live or die by the success of this company, and they are working for a paycheck. So no matter how good they are, they will never outwork you.
Right.
If you have a process and a bar to hold them to, they will be doing everything that you want them to do that will equal success in your company. And they will get pay raises, and they will be happy, and you will be happy. So that's the difference of what we're talking about, right? It's hard because it's foggy of which way you're going. Like, I really need some hires, and I think I got a good process to do it, right? You never go and hire like, well, we can't use them, but maybe one day we'll get more jobs, right? You're always in the pressure relief position. But hiring from standing in that position in a strong need for saying, I'm going to pause, I'm going to work on how to hire, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this HR process, I'm going to have my other processes in place. These are our minimums. There's a lot of things we want our contractors to do in Alliance, but these are our 2 minimums. You got to have your project management process in place. You got to have your accounting in order. You got to be using the software. That's all part of the process. You got to have it all organized to where, now this is how I hire and this is how I train. And when I train them, I'm going to teach them everything that we do. This is how you use the software. This is how I'm going to meet with you once a week and look at your jobs. I want you to see how I'm going to look at your jobs. So when we sit down, you're coming to the table with answers, right? All of that stuff is covered in that training. And if you set them up that way, it's going to be successful most of the time. There's still a chance that gamble doesn't work.
Well, you're mitigating your risk.
You're mitigating. You're going from a 20% success rate to an 80% success rate. We've hired people that don't work. We've had hires this year in our GC company that interviewed perfectly, went through the system, went through the process, and personality ended up not being what we thought it was. Right? That has happened this year in our GC company. That is an oddity. That is not the norm anymore. The norm used to be 80% of the time we're replacing the person. We joked about, let's hire 3 people and maybe one's going to work out, right? Like that's the only way to do it that other way. It's very expensive, but it's a shotgun approach. I'm just going to shoot that direction and hope I hit something.
Well, and after we had a process and we call it a post-mortem when something like that doesn't work out, right? We go in, okay, so why did this not work out? After we had a process and we look back and see, well, this didn't work out, some of the time it's because we chose to jump the hurdle. And we saw the process, we knew what we were supposed to do, but we said, no, this person's going to work out, it'll be fine. I'm not going to call references. I'm not going to do this thing. I'm not going to make them do that thing. And if we had done those things, it probably would have highlighted the thing that was like, oh, we didn't realize that. Right? So create the process. Understand what you need to do to set yourself up for success when you're looking to hire and mitigate that percentage failure. Right?
Well, I think one of the things with that too is hiring the way of, I can identify the right person who's going to come in and run this my way versus having a way that guarantees that they run that way. That's the difference of, I'm taking on more work for myself and I'm training a general manager to do this so I can not be working in this company anymore, right? That is our goal as
growth, duplication,
as company owners, as building a company. I've never met a contractor that says, you know what, I just want to do this until the day I die and break my back. Everyone wants to either grow to sell the company, grow it so my kids can have it, grow so I can sit on a beach. Everyone wants to step out of the company one day.
Right.
And hiring this way will never let you do that. Right. And so it's setting the foundation now and not saying, okay, I'm just going to do it this way this time.
Right.
Well, then I'm going to do it this way the next time. I'm going to do it this way. Because what you're doing is causing more work for you to give you less time to set it up.
Right.
Right now, you've got the most amount of time to set it up, and you don't have any time. So just take the time, set it up, take a beat, make a little less money this year. I know that doesn't feel right, and why would I hire coaches that are telling me to make less money right now? But that's the truth. That's how you grow it. That's how you get to retirement. That's how you get to where we've gotten to, where we can step out of the company and help other people. So,
well, and I think one of the other things that I would say is there are some times that I hear you. I need the process. I need to do the thing. I really think I need to make this hire right now. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Go in eyes open.
Yep.
That you have a high risk of failure in this, so you make that hire that you feel like you've got to have, and watch it closely.
Try your hardest to train them this way.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pull the trigger if you got to.
Yeah.
I'm not an owner in your company, right? Yeah. This is us as coaches, advisors to the companies that we work with. I want to make you successful as a company.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying me for, and this way is risky. I'd rather take a less risky route because I know it will be successful.
Right.
But if you want to go the risky route, great. Here are your shortcuts. Have a process. Don't let him start running jobs on his own. Train him on these processes and check his software daily. Make sure he's keeping his software updated with every single job and he's communicating.
If you go through a week and he hasn't done anything in the software, you got a flag.
You've got a big issue. Yep.
You need to right.
Well, and it's you're a bad boss. You're not setting that bar, right?
Sure.
Like if you're hiring someone, they should be in the software. If you're not giving them that space to do that and hold them to it, it's like, hey, your software's not updated. What's going on? What's happening? Why are you dropping the ball? And when we say software updating, it's going into the job, making sure the clients are having communication, the details there, all that.
The money is being managed correctly.
Crews are getting paid as we've promised, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So it's there. If you must make a hire now for pressure relief or whatever, go in eyes open.
Yep.
And like you said, do your best, even if you don't have a process, to start them working on a process, to train them up this way, because you've got a high rate of failure and you can't afford to fail because it costs a lot.
If you want a quick cheat code to fast forward a lot of this figuring out processes, email us.
Yep.
Come to our website. We have all of our processes that we've built out for our multi-million-dollar general contracting company.
Based out of our failures.
Based out of 16 years of failures.
Yeah.
We've built them out, and we give them to you as a contractor, and then we help you edit them.
We coach you through them.
You're not a multi-million-dollar contracting company, most likely. If you are, great. Come in, and we've got the process for you.
Right.
We give you the process built for a large company with the owner retired out of the company, how we're set up. And we give you those, and then we help you narrow them down to what fits you, and then you grow into the larger processes. So we give you all that stuff. It takes a little work on the front end. It takes a lot of work on the front end to get them implemented. But we've got that. We fast forward and save you the time of figuring all that out and figuring out wrong and learning the hard way and then figuring out again and making that bad hire that costs you $125,000. That is way more than you'd pay us to help you. So
check it out on the website.
Come on in. We love to talk with you. If you don't want that much, you want to come to one of our events and just get some knowledge and notes, love to have you one of those too. So please check us out. Let us know. Thanks for listening this week, and we will talk to you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.